70,000 visas expire by year-end. Thousands of workers face uncertainty. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving into a critical issue that's affecting tens of thousands of people across Canada, the expiration of 70,000 work permits by the end of this year. These aren't just numbers, these permits represent real lives, careers, and communities at a turning point. If you've been wondering what happens to the workers impacted by these expiring permits or how this situation will shape Canada's economy and immigration policies, you're in the right place. We'll break down the struggles these workers face, the consequences for industries across Canada, and the broader economic ripple effects. Most importantly, we'll highlight a pressing issue, the risk of becoming undocumented and the challenges that come with it. Stay tuned, because this issue doesn't just affect those holding these permits, it affects Canada's labor market, innovation sectors, and much more. While you're here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Canada Chronicles. Let's get started. An alarming deadline for thousands. As December 2024 unfolds, an estimated 70,000 temporary work permits, including post-graduation work permits, are set to expire. This has created a sense of uncertainty and urgency for thousands of individuals who have spent years building their lives in Canada. Many came to Canada with dreams of a better future, pursuing education and careers while making significant contributions to the country's economy. Now, they are facing the harsh reality that their permits are running out, with few immediate options for staying legally. Temporary permits are designed as a bridge between studying, working, and transitioning to permanent residency. However, for many workers, these bridges are collapsing before they reach their destination. Long processing times, restrictive immigration policies, and heightened competition for residency pathways have created a bottleneck, leaving thousands in limbo. For those approaching this December deadline, the stakes couldn't be higher. This is a moment that could redefine their futures. The critical role of work permits. Post-graduation work permits are a key part of Canada's immigration system. They allow international students to work in the country for up to 3 years after completing their studies. This program was designed to attract global talent and address labor shortages by giving graduates a chance to gain work experience in Canada, which often improves their eligibility for permanent residency. Despite its importance, the program has significant limitations. The non-renewable nature of these permits means that once they expire, individuals must either transition to a new status or leave Canada. For many, this transition is fraught with challenges. Permanent residency programs, like express entry and provincial nominee programs, favor candidates with strong professional credentials and extensive work experience. Recent graduates often fall short of these requirements, making it difficult to secure permanent residency within the short timeframe provided by their work permits. For these individuals, the expiration of a permit doesn't just mean leaving a job, it often means leaving behind a life they've carefully built, from professional networks to personal relationships. Lives disrupted. The personal stories. The human impact of this crisis is immense. Behind the numbers are real individuals with dreams and ambitions who are now left questioning their futures. Amara, a nurse from Nigeria, came to Canada to study healthcare management and worked at a rural hospital in Manitoba after graduation. Her skills were a lifeline for the community, but her permit is set to expire this month. Despite her critical role, Amara hasn't secured permanent residency due to the limited time she's had to gain work experience, leaving her on the brink of being forced to leave. Then there's Raj, a tech professional from India who joined a Toronto startup after completing his studies. His employer has praised his contributions and is eager to sponsor him for a new permit, but delays in obtaining the necessary labor market approval have left his status in jeopardy. Raj is now facing the possibility of leaving his role and the country, disrupting the company's projects and his own career aspirations. These stories highlight the real-world challenges and sacrifices that accompany the expiration of temporary permits. Each story is a reminder of the broader implications for the individuals, their families, and their communities. The backlog and its consequences. This crisis isn't just about the expiration of permits, it's the result of systemic challenges. Immigration, refugees, and Citizenship Canada has faced significant backlogs in processing applications for extensions and permanent residency. This situation was exacerbated by disruptions caused by the pandemic, which slowed down operations and left thousands of applicants waiting longer than expected. Additionally, the temporary measures introduced earlier in 2024, such as a one-time extension for some post-graduation work permits, offered only a brief reprieve. Many who benefited from this extension are now reaching the end of their grace period without a clear way forward. Canada's recent decision to reduce immigration targets has also compounded the problem. Lower quotas for permanent residency make it harder for temporary residents to transition, intensifying competition for limited spots and leaving many without viable options. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Let's now focus on what happens to workers when their permits expire and how this issue could impact Canada's economy and society. The risk of becoming undocumented. When work permits expire, individuals who fail to secure a new status face the risk of becoming undocumented. Losing legal status has severe consequences. Workers are forced to leave their jobs, cutting off their source of income and disrupting industries that rely on their contributions. The situation also puts individuals at risk of deportation. The Canada Border Services Agency enforces immigration laws, and those without valid status may receive removal orders. Deportation often means not only leaving jobs and homes but also facing long-term bans on re-entering Canada, further limiting their opportunities. For many, the emotional toll of losing status is just as significant as the financial burden. Families are uprooted, careers are interrupted, and years of effort to integrate into Canadian society can be undone in an instant. The uncertainty surrounding their futures leaves a lasting impact on their mental and emotional well-being. Industries feeling the strain. The potential departure of tens of thousands of temporary workers will ripple across Canada's economy. Industries such as healthcare, technology, and agriculture are heavily reliant on these workers to meet labor demands. In healthcare, many temporary workers fill critical roles in hospitals and long-term care facilities, especially in rural areas where staffing shortages are already dire. Losing these workers would only deepen the strain on an already stretched system. The technology sector, which has positioned Canada as a leader in innovation, depends on international talent for growth and competitiveness. Skilled professionals leaving the country could slow progress and hinder businesses' ability to execute key projects. Small businesses in communities across the country also depend on temporary workers to keep operations running. Their departure could result in reduced productivity, higher recruitment costs, and disruptions to local economies. Exploring solutions. Addressing this crisis requires bold and immediate action. For workers, bridging open work permits provide one way to stay employed while awaiting the results of permanent residency applications. However, this option is not available to everyone, leaving significant gaps in support. Further education may offer a way to extend status through new study permits, but this is not a practical option for most individuals due to the financial burden involved. Policymakers must also act. Expanding permanent residency pathways for essential workers and those in high-demand industries would help retain the talent Canada needs. Reducing processing backlogs by allocating more resources and streamlining application procedures would prevent delays and reduce uncertainty. Employers, too, can play a role by supporting workers through sponsorship and advocating for policy reforms that make it easier to retain international talent. Another potential solution lies in regionalized immigration strategies. Programs tailored to meet the needs of specific provinces or rural areas could help address localized labor shortages while providing clear pathways for temporary workers to stay in Canada. Such initiatives would allow communities to identify and retain the skills they need most, ensuring a balanced distribution of talent across the country. Strengthening these regional efforts could reduce the pressure on national-level immigration programs and offer workers a more attainable path to long-term status. As the year comes to an end, the expiration of 70,000 work permits is a defining moment for Canada's immigration system. The challenges are immense, but the opportunities to address them are just as significant. Retaining skilled workers is not just about economic stability, it's about strengthening the communities and industries that depend on them. If you found this video informative, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What solutions do you believe could help resolve this crisis? Share your stories or insights, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay informed. Thank you for watching Canada Chronicles. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next video.